morning, friends. Well, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I am on my way to try to see if I can get to the beach for our sunrise, but I wanted to make the right time, so I'm calling you, messaging you, videoing you from the car. And it felt like a really appropriate moment to talk about perfectionism and how sometimes that feels really important to get right. I think especially for folks who talk a lot about who God is, for people who talk a lot about what life is about, what it all means, this kind of stuff, there's can be a pretty immense pressure to try to get it right, that it needs to be perfect. So I sort of made it to the beach. There's some beach out there somewhere. So sort of making it to the beach feels really appropriate for this conversation about not having to get it right. I saw a meme recently that said, I feel sure that I will not be judged on if my theology is 100% accurate. I do think that there will be judgment about how I treat people. The word judgment is very weighted and evokes images of heaven and hell and fire and brimstone and all of these kinds of things, which are really medieval imaginings from Dante and not so much scripture-based. But setting that aside, I think, we're making micro-judgments all the time. And I do think there's a way in which how we interact and contribute and engage with the world really, really matters. And we're not going to get it all right. And what my hope is that for each of us that can bring a sense of compassion and empathy. Because if I know I'm not going to get it all right, then perhaps I can hold space for someone else who I feel isn't getting it right. And I just wish and hope for our world that we can be a place that's a little more compassionate and reaches toward one another. And even that we won't get just right. We won't get perfect. But we can keep trying. We can keep loving each other a little better. We can keep reaching toward one another. And I'm illegally parked, but I'm going to climb out of the car for just a minute here so that together we can